The NBA is currently living through a $100 billion paradox. On paper, it is the most viral league on earth, racking up 32 billion video views last season. But if you look at the actual television ratings, the numbers are in freefall among Gen Z. We have an entire generation of fans who know every poster dunk from TikTok, but haven't sat through a full fourth quarter in 3 years. This is the highlight paradox. While the NBA chases viral clips, Major League Soccer is quietly stealing the next generation by solving the one problem basketball ignores: accessibility. This isn't just about basketball versus soccer. It is a business case study on how a $10 billion Apple deal and supporter culture are dismantling the legacy sports model. To see the problem, you don't need a spreadsheet, you just need a ticket to a game in Los Angeles. Compare the product on the floor at a Lakers game at Crypto.com Arena versus an LAFC match at BMO Stadium. It exposes a massive authenticity gap that is driving young fans away from the hardwood. The NBA has a serious VIP problem. If you go to a marquee NBA game today, the lower bowl isn't filled with fans, it is filled with corporate status symbols. The league prioritized luxury suites and celebrity rows, to the point where the arena feels like a television studio rather than a sports venue. The lighting is dim to highlight the expensive seats. The music is piped in to manufacture energy because the crowd is quiet, and the people who can actually afford the $500 courtside seats are often on their phones, networking instead of watching. The real fans, the ones who bring the noise, are pushed so far into the rafters they are watching the Jumbotron instead of the court. Gen Z sees this and recognizes it as a sterile, gate-kept event. It reminds me of a quiet dinner party where everyone is afraid to speak too loudly. This directly conflicts with the participation economy. Young fans don't just want to watch content, they want to participate in it. Now contrast that with the 3252 Independent Supporters Union at an LAFC match. It is a completely different business model. For 90 minutes, you have 3,000 fans standing shoulder to shoulder, banging drums, waving flags, and creating a wall of sound that dictates the energy of the broadcast. They aren't passive consumers, they are active participants. The Teenager art displays and the smoke bombs make the fans the main character of the show. The 3252 isn't just a cheering section, it is a union with elected leadership. That level of ownership creates a sticky product that the NBA simply cannot replicate with a t-shirt cannon. Then you have the price friction. The NBA has priced out the demographic it desperately needs to cultivate. A $30 ticket gets you into the heart of the action at an MLS game. In the NBA, $30 barely covers the parking fee at a downtown arena. The psychological shift is undeniable. NBA games feel like exclusive events for the elite, where you are lucky to get a glimpse of the stars. MLS matches feel like communal rallies for the city. One feels transactional, the other feels tribal. The NBA assumed that the prestige of the brand would always outweigh the cost of entry, but they underestimated how much Gen Z values the vibe. When the stadium feels like a corporate boardroom, the product suffers. But a better stadium atmosphere doesn't matter if you can't even watch the games at home. Which brings us to the NBA's biggest strategic failure. Even if the NBA fixed the in-arena atmosphere tomorrow, they would still face a catastrophic problem. Their core product is almost impossible to buy. We have to talk about the blackout nightmare. If you are a modern NBA fan living in Charlotte and you want to watch the Hornets, you would assume buying the official NBA League Pass would let you watch the game. You would be wrong, because you live in the local market. The game is blacked out to protect the cable providers. This forces you into a math of misery that simply does not exist for Gen Z consumers in any other entertainment vertical. Let's run the actual numbers for the 2025 season. To guarantee access to every game for your team, you first need a traditional cable package or a high-tier streaming bundle like YouTube TV to get the regional sports network, which runs you about $80 to $100 a month. Then, because the new $76 billion media rights deal fragmented the schedule to maximize revenue, you need more subscriptions. You need ESPN Unlimited for the marquee Wednesday games. You need a Peacock subscription for the NBC slot. You need an Amazon Prime account for the Friday night streams. And if you want to watch out-of-market teams, you still need to pay $15 a month for League Pass. When you stack the cable package, the streaming add-ons, and the league subscription, you are looking at an annual cost of over $600 just to follow a basketball season. And the worst part, you still have to check a schedule every day just to figure out which app to open. It is a user experience disaster designed for a captive audience that no longer exists. Now look at the Apple model that Major League Soccer deployed. It is the definition of friction reduction. For $12.99 a month, or $99 for the entire season, you get every single match. There are no blackouts. There are no cable requirements. It lives in one app that is already installed on every iPhone in the world. The difference in mental load is staggering. MLS recognized that in the attention economy, friction is death. The NBA, however, is handcuffed by its own success. That massive media deal looks great on a balance sheet, but by slicing the rights across NBC, ESPN, and Amazon, they have prioritize extracting maximum value from legacy partners over building a user base for the future. This fragmentation has accelerated the RSN collapse. We watched Diamond Sports Group, the owner of the Bally Sports networks that carried half the NBA, go bankrupt because the business model of forcing non-sports fans to subsidize sports channels via cable bundles finally broke. The NBA is clinging to a sinking ship while MLS is building a speedboat. This brings us to the highlight trap. Because it is so expensive and difficult to watch a live NBA game, Gen Z has stopped trying. Instead, they consume the league almost exclusively through 30-second clips on TikTok and Instagram. Accounts like House of Highlights and Overtime have effectively cannibalized the live product. The data is terrifying for the league. Gen Z prefers a 30-second dunk clip to a 2.5-hour broadcast by a massive margin. The NBA's own social strategy has inadvertently trained its future customers not to watch the game. They flood the feed with the best moments instantly. If you can see the buzzer beater for free on Twitter 10 seconds after it happens, why would you pay $100 a month to sit through 3 hours of commercials and foul reviews? The NBA has become a content farm for social media platforms, generating billions of views that monetize for TikTok, not for the teams. They are trading dollars for pennies, building a massive audience of casual scrollers who will never buy a ticket or a cable package. While the NBA fights to protect its copyright, MLS is rewriting the rules on how athletes and creators get paid. This started with the Messi model. When Lionel Messi signed with Inter Miami, it wasn't just a salary, it was a partnership. The deal reportedly included a revenue share of new subscriptions to the Apple TV package and a cut of Adidas jersey sales. This turned the league's biggest star into a partner in the league's growth. This philosophy extends to the creator economy. The NBA operates as a walled garden. They aggressively protect their IP, frequently issuing copyright strikes against YouTubers and creators who try to use game footage to tell stories. They want to control the narrative. MLS, on the other hand, operates like open source software. They lean into the creator ecosystem, partnering with influencers to live stream reactions, giving them sideline access, and encouraging the remixing of content. They understand that in 2025, the creator is the broadcaster for Gen Z. By alienating the independent creators who build hype, the NBA feels boomer-coded and out of touch. MLS's strategy has paid off with a 230% increase in social engagement, driven largely by organic creator buzz that the league didn't have to pay for. But the deepest issue is the trust bank. This comes down to the concept of load management. In the NBA, you can save up for months to buy expensive tickets to see a superstar, only to find out 20 minutes before tip-off that he is resting because it's the second night of a back-to-back. This destroys the consumer's trust in the product. It tells the fan that the regular season game they paid for doesn't actually matter. In soccer culture, and specifically in MLS, the matches carry weight. Because the season is shorter and the table is competitive, every game feels critical. You rarely see a healthy star sit out a match in soccer because the culture demands competitive integrity. The NBA has devalued its own regular season to the point where fans know they can tune out until the playoffs. MLS matches honor the fans' time and money. NBA games often feel like they are mocking it. The shift in branding seals the deal. The NBA has evolved into a lifestyle brand that sells sneakers and fashion, where the basketball is almost secondary. MLS is building a community brand rooted in local identity. One is cool to wear, the other is something you want to be part of. The NBA isn't doomed, but it needs to steal the MLS playbook immediately. First, they need an NBA Pass, a unified blackout-free streaming bundle priced at $20 a month for mass adoption, not extraction. Second, they need to create a licensing framework where creators can split revenue on highlights, turning piracy into promotion. The league that removes the most friction wins the next generation. Drop a comment if you would pay $20 for a unified NBA app, or if you're sticking to the highlights.